There was once a time when all humanity spoke one language, thought with one mind, and dreamed with one ambition. No barriers, no divisions, a world united by one voice. Together, they set their sights on the heavens themselves. With fire and clay, they forged bricks stronger than stone, and with pride in their hearts, they began to build a tower, not to honor God, but to make a name for themselves. The higher they climbed, the closer they came to judgment, for the God of heaven would come down to confront them. This isn't just the story of an unfinished tower. It's the story of pride, rebellion, and God's power to humble humanity. This is the story of the Tower of Babel. In the days after the Great Flood, when Noah and his sons stepped out of the ark, the world was cleansed and new again. From the families of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the earth began to fill once more. Generations passed, and people settled in a fertile plain called Shinar, a vast, rich land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. "Come, let us settle here," they said. "Let us build." But there was no stone in the flatlands of Shinar, so mankind learned to mold clay into bricks and to seal them with tar and bitumen. With this discovery, they could build endlessly. "Come, let us build ourselves a city," they said, "with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered across the earth." Their unity was their strength, and their ambition their downfall. They sought greatness apart from God, security and identity without Him. This was the first great rebellion of humanity united in pride. Their tower became a monument to arrogance, a symbol of man's attempt to rise above his creator. Day after day, the tower grew higher, streets filled with people, markets thrived, and at the center stood the tower, their glory, their pride, their defiance. But the Lord, who sees all things, looked down from heaven and said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all speak one language. Nothing they plan will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their speech, so they will not understand one another." Then, in an instant, the world changed. Voices clashed in confusion. Commands turned into meaningless sounds. Workers shouted but could not understand one another. Panic filled the city. Families split apart. Groups formed, each speaking a new tongue. The tower stood unfinished, a broken monument to human pride. And from that place, Babel, the Lord scattered them across the face of the earth. The Tower of Babel stands as a warning for all generations. Their unity was not in God, but in rebellion. They sought to make a name for themselves, forgetting that only God gives a name and exalts the humble. No human ambition can reach heaven without Him. Though man resists, God's purposes prevail. Centuries later, at Pentecost, God reversed the confusion. Through the Holy Spirit, people of every nation heard the gospel in their own language. Where Babel scattered, Christ gathered. Where confusion reigned, understanding returned. The story of Babel is not just ancient history, it is a mirror of today. we still build towers of pride through technology, power, and wealth, seeking purpose apart from God. But the unfinished tower reminds us, without Him, our work cannot endure. With Him, even the smallest act becomes eternal. In every plan, in every ambition, we need His guidance, His blessing, His hand, for without God, we can do nothing. But with God, all things are possible.